Hello, Tamra Holder here, body worker, yoga instructor. And in my practice, on my intake forms, so many people have been checking that box of anxiety. And it's so understandable given what we've all been through this past 3 years. So I really wanted to reach out and share with people a really foundational piece that I have relied upon in my life for the past 20 years. And that piece is a practice that can shift our whole body mind system from the state of being that is fear and anxiety to a state that is calm, clear, restful, alert, and present. So if you find yourself feeling anxious a lot of the time, or just enough of the time that it's bothersome, that you'd like to do something about it, you feel anxious, you're replaying upsetting experiences or conversations from the past, you're worrying about the future, maybe you're driven to just keep moving, like this energy that's pent up inside of you, like a caged animal that's pacing back and forth, and you're just driven to keep moving in order to be with that energy. Well, I'm so familiar with that. That resonates. I've been there and I get it. It's not fun and it's a spiral. The more I live there, the more I spiral into deeper and deeper aspects of what I've just described. So, my foundational piece that I'd love to share with you is a framework and a practice so that you'll have an experience of shifting your whole body-mind system to be able to get to this place of greater clarity, calm, relaxed, alert presence, so that you can lay this foundation by returning to that practice again and again to bring in this new possibility. And the more you do the new possibility, the less this anxious state tends to rule your world. And the more this new state, the more you practice it, the more you tend to live there. So this foundational practice is really, really key because it changes you on all 5 levels of your system. This is from a yoga perspective in the tradition of Mr. Desikachar and Mr. Krishnamacharya, who I'm in that tradition. And it shifts you then on the physical level and on the physiological level, on the mental level, on your level of the personality, and your emotional level. So fear and anxiety obviously affect you on all those levels. For example, on the physical level, it's shunting blood from your gut to your large muscles. There's that readiness, that tension in the muscles, ready to spring, ready to flee, ready to flight. And then there's the physiological level. I just talked about the blood shunting. That's definitely a physiological level. The breath usually gets a lot more short and shallow, as if, when you're going to need to run or when you do run. And the mental level, right? When you're needing to flee, if you're in that fight or flight situation, even if it's not real, but you're experiencing it in your body, there's not a lot of mental clarity. There's just gotta go, right? Or on guard, gotta attack. One of the two, right? So we don't have access. We're actually really physiologically cut off from our higher reasoning. We're stuck in that reptilian part of the brain, and we're just in that fight or flight situation. On the personality level, chronic anxiety keeps you in this state that affects all these 5 dimensions. And the more we're here, the more we live in this state, the more that pattern is reinforced, and the more frequently you find yourself living in that state. Ugh. So how do you get out? How do you get out of the cycle? Well, what I found is by doing a practice daily, and especially at times when if I can catch myself and pull myself out of that, recognition, like, ooh, I'm in this energetic state. Great. Create a space, do a short practice. And that practice shifts you on all these levels so that you have the possibility of seeing more clearly, responding from your higher reasoning, accessing resources that aren't available to you in that fight or flight system, and therefore coming up with solutions to problems that you may have been worrying about. But once you shift out of that fight or flight place, you can have insight into what you might be able to do. So this Thursday, May 18th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m., I'll be sharing this framework and a practice. We'll be taking questions and having a dialogue. And I invite you to come and explore. It's a free workshop. It'll be held on Zoom. And there's a link below here that if you click that, you can get more information and you can register for this workshop. I'd love to see you there and share this practice with you. Thanks. I look forward to it.